Arvind Kumar Jain, you're a former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. Thank you very much for joining us. Prerna Sethi, you're a senior psychologist. You're joining us as well. And Brinda Dige, you're an activist. You're joining us from Bangalore. Thank you very much. Arvind Kumar Jain, I am going to begin by looking at it purely from the lens of a crime. We heard the father's soundbite. He's saying this is love jihad. He's cautioning parents to keep a close eye on their daughter. But given the information that is available to us, is this looking like love jihad to you? Or is this looking like the jilted lover syndrome playing out once again?
Can be one of the two things which you have suggested. Either it was a jilted lover syndrome, or it can be part of love jihad, because in UP during my service, I have seen hundreds of such instances of love jihad taking place. And that's why an act was enacted in UP. And since that act has been enacted and very severe punishment has been prescribed, these cases of love jihad have dropped, and they are still there. But strong action is being taken. So if a father is saying, I don't have reason to contradict him, but it must be a very, very sad thing for the family, losing 23-year-old daughter like this. And I just can't imagine what the family must be going through at this moment. And as stern as possible, punishment should be awarded to this culprit. Unfortunately, till the time Supreme Court confirms the judgment, 13, 14 years will pass, 15 years might pass. So that is unfortunate. That is why action is taken by police. Immediate action is taken. Charge sheet will be filed, I think, in this case, because it's a simple case. Within 10, 15 days, charge sheet will be filed in a court of law. And local court will also pass judgment. It takes time in High Court, and it takes very, very long in Supreme Court. That somehow we should resolve it.
So the arrest has been made.
Yes.
Mr. Jain, you're telling me that the arrest has been made within an hour, and there is appreciation for that. But that arrest does not mean justice for the family, because justice for the family, with the way the wheels of justice move in our country, will probably come 15 years later. Brinda Dige, can you just come into this conversation? I've given our viewers the entire sequence of events. Just because this was a Muslim boy and a Hindu girl, does it qualify as a love jihad case? Now, we have a senior police official on the show who has worked in Uttar Pradesh, and he's saying that he has seen cases of love jihad, and he has no doubt to not believe the father. He has no reason not to believe the father. I have no reason not to believe the father either, but I'm looking at the sequence of events. I'm looking at the fact that the boy and the girl knew each other, that college authorities had actually called parents of the boy and the girl a year ago and informed them about this relationship. The girl's father is also saying that we had called the boy and said, look, you're a Muslim and she's a Hindu, and a marriage is not possible. The boy has told the police, that is what upset me. What upset me was the fact that she simply stopped meeting me. She started ignoring me at the behest of her family, which is why I did what I did. Again, I'm trying to understand, is this love jihad, or is this the jilted lover syndrome, according to you?
Shreya, this is clearly jilted lover syndrome, because like you just now narrated, there has been a history to this relationship, and then the girl decides that she does not want to be in the relationship. That's all. We don't even want to go into who told her about a religion, who told her about a community. The girl decided she doesn't want to be in this relationship, period. Now, that is what this guy could not accept, that he has been spurned by somebody like her. Maybe he would have thought of all kinds of things. She's a corporator's daughter. She has done well in her studies. All of those things are secondary. The fact that this fellow's ego got hurt, like, so many of the chauvinistic men that we see around, they do not want a no from a woman. They will not accept that the woman has made a decision that she doesn't want to be in that relationship or does not want that friendship. And that out of sheer anger, revenge, whatever it might be, premeditated, he carried a knife. And that means I also want to blame the college authorities, because they should have literally checked all of the bags. That people who come inside the college. And like you mentioned, Shreya, this is exam time. College bags are checked. The person itself is checked. You just can't walk inside over there. With your ID card, all of you is checked. Now, if this was not done, it's a lapse on the part of the management. But we are very clear that this is a gender-based violence. Calling it love jihad is not going to get us anywhere.
Okay, this is gender-based violence, you're saying. This is not religion-based violence. I bring up the love jihad angle simply because the father is sure of it. And simply because he has spoken to reporters and put it on record. It's important to put their voice out as well, because it is, after all, they who have lost their daughters. It's a loss that, it's a vacuum that will never fill up. Prerna Sethi, you've again watched the sequence of events. What's your view on what took place? To my mind, of the cases that I have covered, the pattern is very similar. You're in a relationship, the girl decides to break up, or the girl is told to break up, she starts ignoring you, she dumps you, you fly into a fit of rage, and you walk into her office space or you walk into her college space and simply think it's okay to stab her. In most cases, I've also seen the accused, the stabbers or the killers, kill the girl and then point the gun to themselves and kill themselves. In this case, that wasn't the case.
So first thing I would like to address is that we are all going by different people who are having different emotions in this current situation. The girl is not there to justify herself. So we can have a game of Chinese whisper with everybody's own version to it. Now, I'll just like to break it down a little further to you, that I feel somewhere the word, like Brindaji mentioned, the no is not taken, right? Why is the no not taken? Usually, I'm a CBT therapist. So cognitive behavior therapy says that thought, emotion, and behavior are related. People today see no as demeaning, that they are being demeaned by the other person instead of it being a choice. So that is the first angle to it, that people do not have the ability to take no. Now, why don't they have the ability to take no? There is a possibility of some underlying mental health issue going undiagnosed. Why? Because taking somebody's life is not easy in the very first place, right? Now, it's not that impulsivity, like you mentioned that he said it was in a fit of rage. Impulsivity doesn't happen overnight. It is part of somebody's personality, and which would have been over the years, which has again gone undiagnosed. Why wasn't it addressed earlier? So if somebody, if we talk about childhood or adolescence, you would see that there would be lying, fights, not being able to maintain relationships. But again, what happens at that point of time is we address it as he's a child or she's a child, or that is how the nature is. Family at times becomes accommodating to it. And when you become accommodating, when you hear the no, you are not able to take it. So the response is likely to be different because somebody is comforting the behavior. Plus, if the environment also gives this opportunity where it is normal to be aggressive, then the possibility of such behaviors is likely to be higher.
Prerna, I was reading somewhere that 1 in 100 people is a psychopath. I found that very hard to believe, by the way. So you could probably confirm the statistic that I read online. But I want to ask you, this murder clearly was premeditated, right? Because the girl had been ignoring him for some time. He came prepared with a knife. He had dropped out of college, yet he anyhow got inside. He waited for her to come out. So this is premeditated. This is not even in a fit of rage.
Even if I go by premeditated, in premeditated also taking somebody's life is not easy. So there is some, again, underlying mental health issue which has not been addressed. And even in such people, you would see that in their childhood or adolescence, they will be away from people. They will have superficial relationships. You would see some form of deviancy earlier as well. So again, it is something which has been going unnoticed.